So, Skip, I need to know.
Yeah.
What shot do you give the Ravens to win the North?
The Baltimore Ravens are going to win the North by default.
Ooh.
Let's start with our Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
That defense statistically is even worse than my Cowboys defense. It is the worst in points allowed and yards allowed. Even if Joe Burrow comes back 1st of December, I don't think even Joe Burrow can save that mess, rise above that mess.
No.
And then the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 30th in yards allowed. Wheels are falling off on defense. And Aaron Rodgers is now 17th in QBR, and it just feels like all the wheels are falling off in Pittsburgh. I think they're going to lose to the Colts. We're going to talk about that. But if they do, they'll just be a game up on Baltimore. And then do we even need to discuss Dylan Gabriel with Cleveland? So they're out of it. Mm-hmm. So just by default, the team I saw last night didn't dominate Miami because the yards are almost the same. Yeah. It's 386 to 382. 338 to 332. So it's close. But Miami had 3 chances to score and cashed none of them. And Baltimore had 3 chances to score and cashed all 3 of them. And that was the football game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I started to see what I thought I would see from game 2, 3, 4, and 5 from the Baltimore Ravens because they're starting to get whole again. And Lamar stepped right back in and was just throwing darts and had a QBR of 92. And he hit the tight ends for touchdowns and hit Bateman for a touchdown. And he just looked like Lamar. And on defense, Kyle Hamilton he's almost like Lamar-esque on defense. Mm-hmm. And if you get Marlon Humphrey back and you get Kyle Van Noy back, all of a sudden it looks like a semblance of a respectable defense to me. And Derrick Henry got unwound and maybe even unleashed a little bit last night, and he didn't fumble, so that helped.
Yeah.
And
huge win.
Right. So all of a sudden, what's not to like about Baltimore? Maybe not to love, but to like about Baltimore, to rise to the top of this division, which you can argue is as sorry a division as we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's so bad.
A percentage, should we put a percentage on it? I'd give them about a 30% chance to win the North.
Really?
Really?
So you still got the Steelers?
Yeah, because we look at the Steelers, right? They lost to the Bucks, they lost to Seattle. Them 2 damn good football teams, right? Right, B-Rat, C-Rat?
Yeah.
All right.
C-Rat?
Yeah.
Flacco, they lost to Flacco when Flacco played out of his mind, right? Mm-hmm. That's about as good as Bengals team we're going to see.
Okay.
Them they 3 losses this year. So I wouldn't put them as a bad football team like you do. You put them as like, this is a bad football team, the wheels are falling off. I see 3 legit losses on their record, right? So this is what we banking on. We banking on this football team who got wins against the Jags and the Patriots, 2 good football teams. We banking on them going 4-6 in their last 10. And we banking on the Ravens going 6-3 in their last 9. Like, so.
But you know that the Steelers right now are ranked 32nd in passing defense?
I understand that. But
you say the defense wins championships.
It do. And it's 2 ways to do it. You can give up a lot of yards. You just got to take that ball away. When they won games, they was taking that ball away. It's been 3, maybe 4 games. They got 0 takeaways, right? Mm-hmm. And you know how they come. So I'm gonna get to how I feel about the Steelers when we get to it. But I just think that's banking on a lot. You banking on this football team they getting back healthy. You banking on them to just go 6-3 in they last, and y'all to just completely fall off and go 4-6. Like, I don't know. One game, if they go 5-5, I think they win the division.
Okay.
If the Steelers, if the Ravens go 5-4, I think they don't win the division. So it's like very, very small margin of error right there.
Okay.
And we're just banking on a lot.
Upcoming, they got at Minnesota.
I get all that.
JJ's back.
I get all that.
Then it's at Cleveland, Jets, Bengals on Thursday on Thanksgiving, and then Pittsburgh at home. And it just looks like 5 straight wins.
It do, but just the National Football League.
Okay.
Yep. Like we could have banked on Atlanta beating the shit out of the Dolphins, right? Then the Dolphins just come out, play out their mind, whoop the shit out of them. So it's the league. We banking on y'all winning all these games, 5 in a row. Then it's just a lot. So you dig yourself in a hole at the beginning of the season like that, your ass gonna be in trouble. Simple as that.
You didn't like what you saw from Baltimore last night?
Love what I seen from Baltimore last night. Offense, defense, I loved it. But at the end of the day, it was the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? It should look like that, right? The next game should look like that. If one game don't go how it's supposed to go, you're not making the playoffs. And this 9 weeks of everything has to go exactly how it's supposed to go, that's just banking on a lot to me.
Okay, unless Pittsburgh just completely crumbles, right?
Or unless the Ravens slip up and lose one game they're not supposed to lose.
Yeah.
Like it can go either way.
They could also win a game that you don't think they're going to win as well.
You're right.
So.
That's what I'm saying. So we just banking on a lot, bro. Y'all got to completely turn y'all season around. They got to completely crumble. Like, I just, I don't see the crumble because they got losses to the Bucs, Seattle, and the best Bengals team you're going to see this year. Like, that team was a Flacco, that was a Joe Burrow-like Bengals team that Flacco did when they beat them. So, I don't know. It's just banking on a lot, man. It's the National Football League. Hey, somebody going to put a stop to that show.
Yeah, I give them a shot. I'm with you, Skip. I think they will win the division. I mean, just 5 days ago, they were 1-5, and it felt like they were done for the year.
They had a 1% chance.
And it was out, no playoffs, and then 5 days later, they're now 3-5 and only one win behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they can continue to stay healthy and play like they did last night, they got to get better. It wasn't great last night, but it got better. And that's what you want to see from the Ravens right now while they're getting healthy. If they can keep that up, I think they can win 6 games down the stretch. I think they can, and that can get them. If they win 6 games, that'll get them to 9-8.
Yep.
Maybe 7, get them to 10-7 if they steal a game here or there. But the reason I think the Ravens get to the playoffs or they win the AFC North is I'm with you because the rest of the division. The Browns are out. They have no shot. The Bengals right now, it's a tough one because they're 3-5.
Right.
They just lost to the Jets. That was crucial for them. That was a game that they could not lose right now for the Bengals to have a chance. And now you have Joe Flacco, who has an AC joint injury in his throwing shoulder, not his left shoulder, in his throwing shoulder. Yeah. He's 50-50 this week, and they don't know if he's going to play. They have a bye coming up, so he could get healthy. But now you're banking on Jake Browning coming in, and Bengals fans are just hoping he can get back to 2023 Jake Browning and maybe win 1 or 2 games.
But we
and then
have
when
not
Flacco
seen that this year.
And you haven't seen that. But then Flacco comes back, maybe win a couple more, and then by the time Burrow gets back, will even be an opportunity to win the North and go to the playoffs. I think there's just way too many variables right now with the Bengals, so I think they're out. Now the Steelers. It's interesting because they right now are 4-3, and a couple weeks ago they were 4-1, and we felt good. And we thought, hey, they're going to run away with the division. Everything's done. And then the last couple of weeks they lose to the Bengals, and then they lose an ugly loss to Green Bay. That was ugly when Packers came in and beat them at home. And Aaron Rodgers right now is a bright spot on that team. And he's playing as good as we probably thought he should have been to win some games. We thought, all right, if Aaron Rodgers can play right around average, have a couple big plays, he still has a big arm, if he can do these things, then the Steelers are going to have a cakewalk to the playoffs, at least a wild card spot because of the run game and because of that defense. But that defense right now is bad. They're the highest paid defense in the NFL, and they have looked terrible. Skip, you mentioned it, 30th in total defense, 22nd in scoring defense. They're dead last in passing defense with Jalen Ramsey and Slay and Joey Porter Jr., and they just can't stop anybody right now, so I don't trust them. And then last night, I like the Ravens too. If Lamar can stay healthy, he's going to give you a chance to win every single game. He's MVP. He's that good of a player. He's talented. He makes the guys around him better. He was checking plays at the line last night. He was comfortable back in the offense. The defense has been better the last 3 weeks. I know the last 2 games haven't been the toughest, but they did play good against the Rams a couple weeks ago. The game they only scored 3 points, but the defense looked good. So if they can stay healthy and keep playing and performing and get some momentum, I really believe they can win the North.
So what defense was in the same boat as the Steelers defense 2 weeks ago?
Ravens.
Okay. So it's the National Football League. You got vets. You got guys like T.J. Watt, Big Hayward in the middle, Ramsey, Slay. You got guys
but the
who
Ravens
put in
had
extra
injuries
time.
that they got back.
Yeah.
The Steelers are healthy.
It don't matter. You play a certain way. You got guys who gonna put the extra time in, see what the fuck we doing wrong. How do we fix it? You got real vets. You could switch it just like that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, they hang their hat on taking that ball away. They just better take that ball away.
Starks last night.
I did.
Rookie.
Yeah.
He can
I did.
play.
Yeah.
He can just play.
Nice interception.
Hey, it was nice. You can just see he moves right. He thinks right. He's where he's supposed to be. Ball hawk. There's so much talent over there. The only reservation I have is they don't rush the passer like they used to. Those injuries were season-ending that knocked those guys out.
Yep.
But still.
You know who else is the difference maker on that defense is Kyle Hamilton. You guys mentioned him briefly, but man, they love to blitz him off the edge. A couple of times in that game too. I'm looking at Tua. I'm not going to put this on McDaniel, but I'm looking at Tua, and you're running a weak side run play right into a blitzing safety. That's NFL 101. If you see a blitzing safety, I got to alert, check, go the opposite way, run away from the pressure, or make sure it's a protected run if you have a fullback or an extra tight end over there.
Almost like Kyle Hamilton knew the play.
They did it multiple times, though, but you can't let that happen. You got to know from your film study, I can't run a weak side run play with the blitzing free safety coming down on the line of scrimmage because it's immediately a negative play. They made up on one of them. It should have been a loss of 10.
He cut it back.
But he cut it back, and picked up some yardage. But, yeah, just too many mistakes. But Kyle Hamilton, he's a difference maker, and he can get that defense going.
You know, I just got to say about Tua, I've never been a fan. I wasn't a fan before he got drafted. So Miami winds up at the end of the first half with a potential Hail Mary situation.
Terrible.
And he can't throw a Hail Mary. He doesn't have enough arm
Why would
to
you
throw.
even do it?
That's what happens.
I know. Come on, man.
That's exactly what happened. I watched it.
Then he just take a sack.
And
Take a sack.
Get a
you could
Ravens
tell-
defense 2 more
And he
points
had,
on my fantasy.
I think he hitched 4 or 5 times. He had plenty of time to get it to the end
the
zone.
Ravens defense?
I'm with you,
playing
though. I
against
watched
the
that,
Ravens.
and I'm like, why?
That's
He
great
just
defense.
laid down.
Shit,
He
they
didn't want to
scored
do it.
like
I think
20 points last
to me, that's a quarterback that doesn't have confidence in his arm. He didn't want to
Exactly.
throw it and have it come up 10 yards short, and then he knows that's going to go viral, and people are going to talk shit about him to where he has a weak arm because that's already been the book on him.
He took
To
a
me,
sack.
yep, that's exactly what happened.
Terrible,
You
bro.
just can't. That cannot be your franchise quarterback. Doesn't have the arm to throw it to the end zone on the final play of the first half.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would have been like a 60-yard throw, though.
Okay, but anybody, listen, this guy in his heyday or right now, you could go make that throw in the backyard right now.
Yeah, you got to be. I didn't have.
No,
I didn't,
seriously,
I didn't
yeah.
have the strongest
Even
arm
him.
ever, but I could 60.
Malibu's
I think my
most
longest ever
wanted
was
to do that.
65, 67, something like that. But again, and look,
But
some
McDaniels,
guys.
don't put me in that situation.
That's
You
what
know
that-
I can't fucking. You know I can't. I ain't did it in practice. I ain't did it. I don't have this throw on tape. Why put me in that situation? Like
I
that's
think
just.
he can though. That's the thing, Skip. Is I feel like he probably can.
I don't.
Maybe he just didn't want to try it in that situation, and if it
Man.
went wrong, then I'm like, all right,
the
I got a clip going
interception.
bad about. But I'd expect Tua to be able to throw it 55, 60 yards, especially if you get a couple hitches into it. I mean, I would hope he could.
Hey, I've told you, I know Dylan Gabriel because I saw him at Oklahoma make that throw. He has a little bigger arm than Tua's, and he doesn't have enough arm to make it in this league. And I don't know, they're just kidding themselves. You know, you just keep trying and trying. Like, fire McDaniel. Okay, fine. And what about your quote-unquote franchise quarterback? Where are you going with him? It feels like they just need to start over.
They do.
Come on, man.
They do all around.
And yet, if you mentioned it,
Mustache is
hey,
crazy.
I keep looking
Kinda
at
hard
him.
Mustache is crazy.
kind
Like,
of hard
who
to
is
look
that?
at.
I keep on looking right at
thinking,
the
I
know,
mustache.
same.
This shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Same.
But how did those Dolphins just 4 days earlier go just obliterate Atlanta at Atlanta? I don't you
know.
said it's the National Football League.
National Football League.
That's-
Any-
that's-
But
any
even the
given Sunday,
first
Skip.
quarter in this Dolphins-Ravens game, I
Yeah.
thought, they're
okay.
getting a little stride. They're moving. You know, Achane was getting some runs. I
was.
was like,
He
then
was.
boom.
Then they
The
start
old
getting false
Dolphins
starts
back.
and pre-snap penalties, and they start, that momentum starts swinging. So they didn't do that against Atlanta. They had
Yeah.
a smooth,
Yeah,
clean
smooth.
game executed.
And Tua's best pass is a lead pass where he throws it in 1.5 seconds and hopes that Waddle can run under it, right?
Yeah.
Just throw it out there
Yeah.
somewhere as fast as you can and hope somebody can just go find it and get it.
And they could have made it a closer game. They wasn't taking their points at the beginning of the game. They missed the field goal,
Yeah.
and they went for it. Like, bro, just take your points. And then you go into halftime, it's 12-15 or 12-14.
Yeah.
Like,
But when you're playing Lamar Jackson, you got to score points. I know they didn't play great in the
Man,
first half,
you
but
gotta
Lamar,
take your points,
they're
bro.
going for it on 4th and goal. They're finishing in the end zone. He finds Mark Andrews on a 4th
Yeah.
and goal rollout. Like you've got to match that. You've got to be
you
able
don't
to
have
score
a guy
points.
in the red zone, a running quarterback shows up. That's where a running quarterback makes his money in the
Yeah.
red zone. You don't have that.
Yeah.
So take your fucking points. Keep this shit close. So you don't lose your team. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't get it. I
But
don't
you know
get it.
how you said the other day, if you're getting dressed before a game in the locker room and you got this guy at quarterback that you don't trust, you're thinking, we're done today. We don't have a shot.
Yep.
And if you have that guy at quarterback, you're thinking,
We
we'll
have a
figure out a way to win
Every
this
game.
game. Okay, so last night, if I'm getting dressed in the Ravens locker room, I'm thinking, he's back, and we got a shot, not just to win tonight, but to win a whole bunch of games.
Yep.
Because, newsflash, Lamar is really good. And you can just see in his body language, he knows he's better than anybody on the field. And yet, if I'm dressing with the Dolphins, I'm thinking, I just don't know about this guy, because you never know. He might come up with a decent game, but typically he doesn't. So you're walking on the field thinking, we don't have much of a shot with
Right.
Right.
Right. So when we get in the red zone, shit, take our points. Maybe if I go into halftime, it's 9-15 or 9-14. I'm like, all right, hey, here we go, y'all boys. If I go into halftime and it's 3-14, I'm like, bro, here we go again. Like, you know what I'm saying? So take your fucking point.
You think that had anything to do though with their kicker missing a 34-yarder? And they
Hey,
thought, all right,
well,
I'm not kicking it anymore. We're gonna start going for it and at least try to put some points on the board.
Yeah, that was a tough.
I can't play if Tua throw the ball and he don't throw a good pass and he miss. I'm not saying, oh, I'm not throwing the ball no more. Like, bro, you got to just play. People gonna fuck up. You got to just play football. He missed one. I'm coming right back to you. If it's 4th down, take my points, man. Let's go.
I just think it's too tough to beat the Ravens with 3s. You got to score 6s. It's too tough to put up 3 points and go all those yards, get down in the red zone, have a 4th and manageable situation, and say, all right, we're just going to take 3. Other thing I don't like too, one of those kicks is I don't like running it on 3rd down. That's become the new norm.
It
Skip.
is.
On
Yeah.
3rd and 6, you think, okay, I got 2 plays. Let's run it on 3rd down and maybe get a 4th and manageable. Throw it both times. Throw it on 3rd and throw it on 4th. You still have 2 plays, but you run it, you get 2 yards, and they go, oh, all right, wasted play, let's go kick it. I don't like that, man. You just got to have a better plan down there in the red zone for some of these teams.
Well, Stephen Ross, the Dolphins owner, he exited in the 4th quarter. He got up and left. So.
And he fired his GM this morning.
Oh, did he?
Did.
I didn't
think
see
he
that.
did.
Yeah. No, yeah, he did.
Wow.
I saw it.
He woke up in the morning and fired somebody. Hey,
Okay, well, he had to fire somebody.
Somebody got to get fired.
That's bizarre to me though to fire the GM mid-season.
Bro, it's nuts. Bro.
When you know the play, obviously that and
he got to take his frustrations out on somebody, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
3 of y'all gonna get fired eventually. I'm starting with your ass.
Because that was Thursday night football solo stage. Everybody's watching.
at home.
It was terrible.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
crowd.
at home.
Did you hear? I mean, I know you guys heard it, but the crowd booing almost after every possession in the second half, and Tua throwing check downs
gotta
on
rebuild.
3rd.
Then the other thing
10
was
plus.
the Ravens fans took it over last night.
Shit, it
and
went hard.
Tua said after the game he was having cadence problems because of the Ravens fans in Miami.
Yeah.
What?
The Lamar fans.
Yeah, Lamar
Maybe.
Yeah,
fans.
Lamar Jackson
That's
effect.
a good point. Yeah.
Well, 65% of the chat thinks the Ravens are going to win the North. I don't think it really matters at this point, though, because Lamar Jackson's going to bomb the playoffs, and they're not going to be a competitive team. I think, who knows? You know how that goes. But, Akeem, did you know that you're a social media star? People love you.
I didn't. You know, I didn't. You know.
Debo.
I enjoy it, though.